So you got this naked lunch thing. You want to plug away while we wrap this up?
I don't have to.
Unnecessary.
No, I mean, let's see. What can I tell you?
I mean, what is your journey? You've been doing this now for 7-8 months now. Are you enjoying? Is it
loving it?
Yeah,
Phil and I.
You can tell.
He had his book. He had a book come out. Somebody Feed Phil, and he had his new season. And so, like, I hit the road with him a little bit, and hosted an event or so. And so we actually had a few moments where we weren't doing the podcast. We were just. I was actually with him when he found out his book was a bestseller, which was just super cool because he had never had a best-selling book. That's the only thing I had on him. And now I'm fucked because he's got one of those too. But we had like a moment to like, what are you thinking about this? Because I love it. He goes like, it's been great. And like a few weeks ago, we did a Thanksgiving episode where we told Thanksgiving stories, but we reprised our interviews with the Michelle Yao and Key from Everything Everywhere All at Once. And I think we're going to do a show coming up, which will be like our favorite stories from the show so far. And it's great because we started out, you invite your friends and sometimes it's my friend, sometimes it's his friend, more often his friend, and sometimes they're mutual friends. But the coolest thing is when you make like a new friend and like those guests were new. There's a guy who's on this last week for us, Adam Conover. Neither of us had ever met. Like Lindsey Vonn, he knew because she's friends with his daughter. I never met Lindsey Vonn, and but it's great and like Jeff Bridges, which should be out probably when around the time you're hearing this. It was great because it just came at the end of like 3 weeks where I was getting to know him, and it's like I was not asking questions. I asked questions like if I was going out to dinner with him. I mean, that's really what Phil always wanted this to be. Is like he didn't want it to be a talk show. He wanted it to be like we have lunch with our friends and we love it. So let's just sort of share that. Well, so I've loved doing it.
Yeah.
Who knew Mickey Dolenz?
Me. And interestingly, Phil, Mickey directed TV for years in England. And I think from what I gathered, he came in to try to direct on Everybody Loves Raymond. And I think there was no opening at that point, but they did meet back then. And Phil made a confession on our podcast, which Mickey thinks he made back then, which is Mickey was the first like hero after Julie Andrews that Phil ever had as a little boy growing up. And he lied to girls and said he was Mickey Dolenz's cousin. Like that was Phil's first middle school, elementary school girlfriends were under the impression that he was Mickey Dolenz's cousin. So they had met, but I got to know Mickey a little bit over the years, and then I worked with him with Neil Diamond doing this performance. They did I'm a Believer. They had never met, and I helped put them together for a Grammy Legends salute show. And when Neil got inducted, because what happened was Neil was being inducted or getting his Grammy as a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. And that was when Neil was sort of stepped back from performing and said maybe he couldn't. And so I had to book someone to perform a Neil Diamond song. I booked Mickey, and then Katie Diamond, Neil's wife, called me and said, Neil's in and he wants to perform. I said, great, he can do any song except I'm a Believer. And she goes, why not that? He goes, we'll have Mickey Dolenz doing that. And she said, hold on, Neil. And then she talked to Neil, and Neil goes, I want to sing it with Mickey. And I was like, are you kidding? This is like a childhood dream come true. And that it came true. It was just amazing. So that's how I really got to know him, was working on that.
Doesn't Neil Diamond have he's got a Broadway show now?
Just opening.
Yeah.
There's so many. I don't gallivant to Paris all the time. But I was saying to my wife, like, can we go to New York? Because I want to see Almost Famous. I want to see, I want to see the Neil Diamond musical. I don't know when of course, I want to do that in spring-like conditions. So maybe I'll have to hope these are long runs and go when it's nicer.
Well, and Pat and Pat Benatar's got a musical
Opening
out.
here, though.
Yes,
right?
it's here. So you can,
Yeah.
you could see that.
No, it's not the two of them, right? Is it people playing them?
I think so.
I think it is people
It's
playing
called
them.
Invincible, right?
Yeah.
We might have to go see that because
Yeah.
that's got to.
Have you tried to have them on your show or no?
I've reached out and have, they've ghosted me. I'll reach out.
Love that.
I mean, people. Maybe I should. I got it.
I don't have a real I've met them, but I don't think I know them. I don't know them particularly well. But I'm a fan.
I did in a previous life. I got to talk to Pat Benatar. I interviewed her, and it was when my girls were playing soccer, and we talked about commuting girls back and forth. I'm like, does Pat Benatar drive a minivan? She's like, no, I would never drive a. How dare you? But she signed my Crimes of Passion album with "Go Crazy Kiwis," which was the name of our team.
Oh, that's hysterical.
Kiwis.
We were all green.
Great.
So yeah.